What up? This is Robert Ory.
Ory, three-pointer. Buries it.
You might know me as Big Shot Bob.
To Ory for three. Oh, unbelievable. This guy is off the charts.
What's going on, Big Shot Bob?
Robert Ory from downtown.
All right. Let's do this one more time. It is episode 87 of the Shoot Around, our little Friday bonus show. If you ever have a question for us, at Big Shot Bob Pod. All over the place. We are going to start with Derek's question this week. Thank you for sending this one in. Heard you guys talking about Chris Paul last week. And for me, he goes down as one of the best floor generals to ever play.
Absolutely.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Some others on my list were Rajon Rondo, Kyle Lowry, and Tony Parker. Rob, of those four dudes, who do you think was the best floor general of those four guys? And who was the best guy you ever played with?
Rondo by far.
You think Rondo's the best of those four?
Because I think Rondo, when you say floor general, Tony Parker, he ain't gonna pass that shit. He don't get to the lane and shoot that floater. Lowry is a passer, but Rondo, when you talk about someone who's gonna put people in position to score, and he can score himself, Rondo by far. I think Rondo was way underrated in my mind. I just think he was just an exceptional player. You always talk about the big three in Boston. No, it's a big four because Rondo, he made those guys run the court. He put them in a position to be successful. So it was Rondo by far.
Wow. I'm surprised. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Harp, do you have a favorite amongst that group? CP3, Rondo, Lowry, and Tony Parker. I thought, honestly, Rob, Tony Parker was going to be a little higher on your list.
No, I'm not. See,
no. Just because you got to play alongside him, so you got maybe a little bit more first hand.
Ball to me.
Okay, well,
so
all right. That's fair enough. Let me go ahead and scratch his ass off the list. Go ahead. All right, keep going.
I think it was really between Chris Paul and Rondo.
No, I thought it was just between Rondo, Lowry, and Tony Parker.
Oh, yeah, he already said. Yeah, he said we were talking about Chris Paul.
Okay.
I'll take Rondo in that because from the standpoint of just his court vision. And when we start thinking about just a prototypical point guard, like he couldn't hit the broadside of a barn with his shot, but he could find you on the run for anything. His passing ability and his court vision was absolutely amazing. So I go Rondo.
Okay, that's fair.
Don't get me wrong, Tony Parker's a hell of a point guard, but he's not the standard point guard. When I'm old school, when I think point guard, I think someone who's going to get you in a position to get the ball, and then he's going to say, hey, I can score when I need to. Come off the pick and roll, he's a danger. For me, it's because Tony Parker, he like you said, out of that group, who would you take offensively? I'm taking Tony Parker.
Who's kind of like Rondo, but he's much taller, but don't play half the time? Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons' court vision.
Oh, no. Don't you dare put Rondo in the same. Rondo can shoot way better than Ben Simmons.
And Rondo is a horrible shooter.
Rondo is not a horrible shooter. He's not like Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons can't shoot to save his life.
My bad, Rob.
Correction. It's Ben Simmons doesn't want to shoot.
Okay, cool.
Okay, yeah,
this conversation that we're having is like which trash bag smells the worst.
No. Don't you dare talk about Rondo, man. I like Rondo.
No. I love Rondo. But when we start talking about...
He played for the Celtics.
You're right. I love Rondo too, but when you start talking about two bad shooters and you're saying, no, Ben Simmons, Rondo was nowhere near as bad as Ben Simmons, they're both terrible shooters.
I'm looking up Rondo's 3-point percentage right now.
Hey, Rob's going to defend this Rondo thing.
If there's one thing you let Rondo do is shoot threes. You let him shoot.
Okay.
Because if he's like both him and Ben Simmons, if they're going down here and you got guys running, they're gonna find their guys. That's when they're at their best.
I have a hard time putting Ben Simmons in any conversation.
Well, I hate that too.
And I'm not saying you're wrong, but because his game.
Rondo shot 324 from 3-point percentage. That's pretty damn good.
For who?
Dude, that's what the whole league shoots now.
Well, because people take a lot of terrible shots.
More.
They take a lot of terrible shots, though. That's why.
Rondo wasn't that good.
I would have picked Tony Parker.
Like if Rondo was just going to shoot, I'd let him shoot. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
All right. So let's do Jeff Teague. Let's check in with our buddy Jeff Teague. He was on the Club 250 podcast. I want to play this clip just because I thought this was interesting. He was asked, who are your top 4 guys in the league right now? And this was Teague's pick.
Mine's is no bias either, but obviously Joker is number 1 for me. Then I'll take Jason Tatum. Then I'll take Luka. Then I'll take Shai.
Yeah.
So his top 4: Joker, Tatum, Dončić, and Shai. In that order. I don't have any major issue with it. I think Shai probably deserves a little bit more love than the 4 spot there, but
Yeah.
and I don't know if maybe that's just recency bias because of the way he's playing this year, but
Yeah, I think the other guys have.
Well,
No,
I take, and people get mad at me. I take Luka out that because
Okay.
Luka can't guard me. And so, you know me, when I talk about basketball, you got to be able to do it on both ends. And I don't hate that, I hate that term two-way player, but fucking basketball is basketball.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
the great thing about
Boy, you
this
hate
sport.
that term.
You got to play offense and defense. And Luka don't play no damn defense.
He hates that.
I hate that fucking term, man. It's the stupidest term ever. It's not fucking football. He's a two-way player. No, motherfucker, basketball is a sport where you have to play both ends of the floor. Just say, I say he's a one-way player. That term I'll be fine with. One-way player. Don't use two-way player. He's a one-way player.
But we talked about this.
Yeah, we talked about it, but it's still a stupid term to me. He love that shit. Well, look at him laughing at me.
well, just because it gets you so hot, it's funny.
Yeah,
it's just funny.
I just can't stand it, man. Like,
Yeah.
we all have our soapbox moments, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
This is true. No love for Giannis on this list, by the way. I thought
That's what I was shocked about.
I like him overall, all around as a player.
Me too.
I think you're well.
That's no disrespect to the guys on the list.
Yeah.
I like him as a more well-rounded.
Well, you're seeing the guys kind of move out the old guard. You've put a lot of those guys we put into another stratosphere, and now you're looking at not just the now, but now you're looking at for like years to come. And those guys really emerge. I mean, Jokic is already there, but he's still is he 30?
Jokic?
I
don't think so. Maybe he's 28 or 29.
Okay,
I think is.
so he's still right in the smack dab of his prime,
Let me see here.
Yeah.
Jokic.
even though he.
Let's find out.
So I think
No, he is 30. Just
Okay.
turned 30 in February.
he just turned.
Just
30.
turned 30.
So he's still in his prime.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's there. So, I mean, that
So
kind
let
of...
me ask you this question: Who you guys' top 4? I know we all probably say number 1 is Jokic by far.
I mean, I have Giannis in there. I think Jokic and Giannis.
I have Giannis in there too.
I'm going to play recency bias and say Shai. And I think it's hard to argue with Jason Tatum. But Tatum and Brown, for me, could go either way with the way they're playing.
I think with all the success Brown has had, I think we all still see that as Jason Tatum's team. Even though Brown was the MVP, and he had a much better playoff run than Jason Tatum, I think a lot of people still see that as Tatum's team, which is why he's there. I don't know. I mean, yeah, Jokic. I'm not mad at his 4.
No, I'm not either.
I'm okay with his 4. Like for me, I know this is going to sound weird. I know SJ is going probably with MVP. He doesn't make my top 4.
Shai's not even in your top 4.
Because
Okay,
I
is
throw
in your top 4?
LeBron in there just for the fact he's
bring
40
the old
years
guard
old.
back in.
Yeah.
No, because you got to think about this motherfucker 40 years
Yeah, you're
old
right.
and still have the same numbers as everybody on this list.
Yeah.
And so think about if this dude was probably 32, 35, 30, he'd be so far ahead of these dudes. So that's why I'm throwing LeBron in there, just because he's still
Fair.
doing it at fucking 40. That has a way to me a little bit. And Jason Tatum, I'm a Jason Tatum fan, but when you just shoot a bunch of fucking threes, you drop off my list.
Okay.
And then I bring in if people haven't been watching Spider lately, Spider has moved in my top 4. I've never been a Spider fan. I always thought he
You've
was a hell
never
of a
been really
talent.
that big on Donovan Mitchell.
But when you watch the shit the dude is doing to motherfuckers on the court now, I'm like, damn. So he has moved past Luka, because Luka doesn't play any defense. I love Luka to death on the Lakers and what he's doing, but he would not He would not play any defense. He just fucking points.
By the way, Luka, ticking down to the next topic, is not even in the updated MVP ladder right now, in the top 10. He's not even cracking the top 10 of the MVP ladder right now.
I'll say.
So my top 4 is Jokic, Giannis, Donovan Mitchell, and LeBron. Those are my top 4.
Okay.
That's not disrespecting Shai Gilgeous. I just, Shai, to me, he gets half his points from the free throw line. And so if you watch what Donovan Mitchell does, I'm like, damn, this dude dunking on people. He's fucking pulling up for threes. He got the best record in the East. So that's why I know Shai has the best record in the West. I know y'all got the best record in the West. And East is easier, but I'm just watching how this motherfucker going to work on people.
I just love your impression of everybody talking shit.
I'm waiting on, and I know some people say he's not there yet, even though they were in the Western Conference Finals last year. I'm waiting on Ant-Man. That's the one
He just hadn't had the season this year,
That's another motherfucker, man. He's going to the Tatum mode. He's shooting too many motherfucking threes.
Man.
I think he leads the league in threes.
Yes.
Yeah, he does.
In attempts, yeah.
Because think about it. Last year, every damn week, we saw some awesome dunk on somebody by him.
Oh, yeah.
How many times have you seen it this year?
Not as many. He had one the other night.
Because he's shooting threes.
He had one the other night, but yeah, you're right. Not anything like what it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nothing close.
And I also got to give him some grace because, he's obviously he went to the Western Conference Finals and things of that nature, and very early in his career. He's only 24.
No, yeah, he's got a lot of growing. Yeah,
He's not even he's not quite in his prime yet. So to have that success that early, he's gonna get better.
He still got a milk mustache.
I won't say all that.
Look, we got all this stuff out on the Tuesday show. Let's not bring it back, all right? Let's not regress.
Oh, there is something that we missed though on that Tuesday show. And
you're right. I wrote it down and forgot to bring it up. Absolutely. Let's go ahead and
we're gonna talk about the Tush push, about the league, the NFL teams. I think they said the Packers. The report was that they were advising to get rid of the Tush push, and so a lot of coaches, when they have the league meetings and things of that nature, you have your, the combine and all that. They talk about this stuff about, what coaches think, how they feel about the play. Obviously, the play has been very unstoppable, but only really 2 teams have been using it consistently. That's the Eagles and that's the Bills, and have had relatively a lot of success at it too. Rob, what's your thought process on a lot of these teams putting in petitions of trying to get rid of the Tush push and saying that it's not a football play?
First of all, why is it not a football play? You lining up man versus man. You got to stop my surge. They do it in rugby all the time.
That's what they say. They're saying it's a rugby play, not a football play.
But
it's a running play.
To me, I don't really care about it. It's just like when one team is successful at something, people try to emulate it and it doesn't work for them. Oh, we can't. It doesn't work for them. Get rid of it.
Yeah.
It's unfair.
Yeah, it's unfair.
Torpedo bats. That's what we need. Yeah.
Here's my thing about that play. One, in the midst of all these teams complaining about it, none of y'all have really made the Eagles have to defend it. You're complaining that they run it. How about you try to at least beat them at their own game and get some personnel for them to have to stop it instead of them running it on other teams. Like, y'all are complaining about a play that's not illegal to any of you all. Any of you all could gain and get the personnel to put guys in there to run your own version of the Tush push. But instead, everybody wants to complain about it and ban it because you can't stop it. You ain't make them defend it. You don't even know if the Eagles can defend their own play that they've been getting away with for some years now. So what you crying for?
Yeah, bring an extra lineman in the secondary, let him run up in the box, crowd the line, and stop it. Stop it. Now here's the thing. This is why people hate it. You could fake out that play real easy too, and you could load up with your big dudes and get the defense on their heels, and then all of a sudden you look like you're going to tush push. You just drop back to pass. You got no one in the secondary. So it's like it's a hard thing to defend from a lot of different angles, but stop it. That's my thing. Then stop it. If you don't like the place, you can't outlaw it. Stop it. Find a way to stop it.
You know what else was tough to defend, Rob?
What's that?
Running quarterbacks. I remember at one point in time, it's like when Mike Vick was running all over the place, teams was like, bro, anytime he broke that pocket, what can we do? Can't nobody catch him. But eventually, what you had to do was you had to come up with defenses. You had to play contain.
Yeah, you got to figure it out.
You had to have the personnel to be able to figure out how you contain things. Is it difficult? Hell yeah, it's difficult. But do you get paid as coaches to figure that out? Yes. Do you get paid as players to figure that out on the field? Yes. That's your job. So you mad at one team because they've come up with a style and utilize it or two teams to utilize it to their benefit. Not a whole league crying? Come on now.
Yeah.
Stop.
Nah, knock it off. I'm with you. Yeah, learn to defend it instead of trying to outlaw it. All right, question from Matt for Rob. And this is really to all of us. Did LeBron expose this false narrative that he and Brian Windhorst are boys? He went on the Pat McAfee show, and he feels like ESPN's been cramming down our throats for years, for like 10 years, that he's LeBron's guy. That's why we should listen to Windhorst, because he's LeBron's guy. And LeBron was kind of like, yeah, I mean, I know him, but whatever. So he might be my number one I'm sick of hearing from you guy on TV now.
I didn't even know there was boys.
Yeah, that was the thing
that was
they hung his
the
hat
whole
on.
narrative, which is why you should listen to Brian Windhorst, because he knows LeBron. They're boys. They went to school together.
I thought
he covers them, and they're friends.
I thought Malika's husband was his boy.
Well, he just works for the LA. He just works for the beat.
No, he's. I thought he was solely follows LeBron.
No, that's Windhorst. I mean, he probably does that now, sure, but Windhorst has been doing that from the beginning.
It's
been Windhorst.
But I didn't know that.
Okay,
See?
so
I
he wants to know who's the guy on TV you're sick of hearing from.
Oh Lord,
I know there's probably plenty. I'm with him. Every time I see Brian Windhorst's face on TV, I'm like, bye. I'm off it. He drives me crazy.
I have to be honest. There's nobody because I don't listen to nobody.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer.
Because he almost said James Worthy, and then he was like, no, wait, pull it back.
Oh, that's a good answer, Rob. I feel
it's funny. No, it's like I can watch Stephen A., but once he starts yelling, I turn the channel. Yeah. I can watch everybody.
See, for a long time,
when they start doing things that irritate me, I just turn the channel.
For a long time, for me, it was Skip. And he's not really.
I never really.
He's not really on. I know, but it's just you're sick of hearing from him. Every time he would pop his face up, I was like, I can't. I just can't. And now for me, I'm with Matt. It's Windhorst for me. I'm just. Oof.
I never really listened to Windhorst because when he starts talking, I'm like,
huh?
I start like his voice kind of makes me go in my mind. I start thinking about something else.
You're Homer Simpson with the monkey with the symbols all of a sudden out of nowhere. Yeah.
And to me, it's like I always look at reporters in the sense of and this is bad of me to say. I look at them and say, did you play a fucking sport? And I know it's wrong for me to say. And then I'm like, do you have the experience of a sport? Do you have a parent that coaches sports, so you're around the sport, so you learn it organically? And to me, that's always I always look at a lot of these people, and if they start talking about a particular sport, and then they say one wrong thing that I don't agree with, I don't fuck with them. And so I'm bad about that, man.
Got you, okay.
Because a lot of reporters will say something. I don't know who it was the other day, but he was talking about a player's mindset, and I'm like, dude, you don't know what a fucking player's mindset is. Everybody's different. They always say when you play basketball, your mindset is this. You play football, it's not the fucking same.
Right.
Your mindset changes. If you got something going at home that's not got you going down the right path, your mindset is different. If you fucking just won $1 million in the lottery, ain't told nobody, your mindset is different. And so they don't know the mindset of an athlete. And that's why I always roll into analyticals. Analyticals get thrown out the window because human nature can make that go either way. That need to go in either way. So the mindset of an athlete is you think about all the players who play so good when they're sick, play so good when they lose a family member, and then you have players that the same thing happen. They can't do shit right. They can't even get out of bed because they're so upset. So you cannot put everybody in this one group. And so when some of these reporters start talking about mindsets, I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. Okay.
Yeah,
you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I love Stephen A. And I always respect Stephen A. for the trajectory of his career. Man, finally signed another $100 million deal.
Got the bag, man.
So he's done everything that he was supposed to in order to be at the top when it comes to ESPN. But with that being said, sometimes when he's on, I gotta cut it off or I gotta mute it because there are certain things where I'm like, and I know he's there for his personality, but sometimes it can be it can be overbearing at times where I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, are you okay? And I think because he's being paid so much, they need him at the forefront to be able to comment on some of these things. And some of these things I don't think he really knows anything about. But I think because he is Stephen A. and he is Mr. ESPN, and when they pay you all that money, if you don't know what you're talking about, you better yell, scream, or do something because we got to justify you paying all that money.
Yeah, I will say this: I do like certain reporters. I like listening to Doris.
Doris Burke.
I love Doris though.
I love Doris.
her, man.
I'm just saying there's certain people you love to hear. Like certain people make you smile when you hear their voice. And Doris is one of them.
Doris is like the female Ernie Johnson. I've never heard anybody say anything bad about Doris.
And that's another voice you love to hear, Ernie's, because he's always.
And I'll give you my
storm.
favorite announcer every time Kevin Harlan's on something.
Yeah, his voice, boy.
Yeah.
I love it because he's professional and he's really good at what he does, but he also, man, he has some great calls and he's got good energy. I love Kevin Harlan.
What's the other one?
I used to love Bob Costas too. I love Bob.
I think Costas was good on baseball. Yeah. That was the only sport I was ever like, okay, I can listen to Costas call a baseball game because he's got that kind of tempo. A lot of other stuff like the Olympics and all that, I was just never like,
What's his name? Mike Breen, who used to go bang.
Yeah, bang.
Mike Breen. Used to bang all the time. Yeah.
He just retired, I think, from ESPN. Calling games for like 30
retired?
years. Yeah. Mike Breen retired.
During the NBA playoffs and the finals, you couldn't wait to hear that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man.
You couldn't wait.
Yeah. All right, last thing, and then we'll wrap up shoot around. We just celebrated the 30th anniversary this past week of the Chris Farley David Spade classic, Tommy Boy, which still to this day remains the most quoted movie in my home. Tommy Boy is such a stupid, silly, funny movie, but my wife and I have seen it so many times that we could recite it and we quote it regularly. What's the most quoted movie in your house? A movie that you just like, for some reason, just sticks with you. You randomly throw lines out all the time. And I've got a bunch of them, and they're all stupid.
It's so weird. If you had been talking with this yesterday, I probably came up with a bunch of them. But now it's like, okay, you put me on the spot. I'm like, fuck, I don't know.
Well, just movies you've seen so much, you could just like I'll give you one that's really stupid.
Yeah.
Ace Ventura. How stupid is that movie? But I can throw out lines from that movie all day. I don't know. It's just dumb as hell. But
that's like us. Yeah, it's Friday. It's Talladega Nights.
Talladega Nights.
Mm-hmm.
Great movie. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. I've said that to people on the regular. Yeah, no, that's another one that's quoted a lot.
Talladega Nights.
Talladega Nights is one that's quoted a lot. Spaceballs.
Oh.
You know how many times I've told my wife, we ain't found shit? Like, I've said that to my wife more times than I can remember.
That's what we said. Like, that's one of Spaceballs and Blazing Saddles. Where all the white women at?
Where all the white women at?
Hey, so me and Chris and my son.
Probably not good to shout that around your house randomly.
No, it's funny. Like Chris, we have this joke with Candace, and we were like, yeah, where all the white women at? We going out tonight.
I'm sure she loves that. I'm sure she loves it.
What's a movie?
I'll tell you another one that's quoted on the regular Friday.
That's my one.
Friday, man.
That's my one.
Still, and by the way, holds up.
Yeah.
Still,
every time I'm in the kitchen, you in the kitchen.
You know how many times my wife's told me, you better put some water on that shit? And I'm like, well, I don't want to eat the cereal.
Didn't I tell you last night to take out the trash? Yeah. Then why didn't you? I fell asleep. I wish you was asleep right now. I'd knock you out with a level and wake you up and make you take out the damn trash.
Nobody go in the bathroom for about 45 minutes. Friday's a good one. Friday's a
that whole, well, at least the first two. Like I like Friday. I like
was it
Friday After Next?
Is that the second one?
No, Friday After Next is the third one.
And what's the second one? Is it
Next
Friday? Okay.
Yeah.
Next Friday.
I've only seen the first two. I've never seen the third one.
Yeah. The third one is
the first one though is like
it's a classic.
It's like the lexicon, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do it.
It's funny though because I always wanted a black dog and I was gonna name him Smokey.
No, you got to name him Debo.
But you're taking a shit.
You got to name him Smokey. You didn't even eat corn. You got to name him Debo.
How you get fired on your day off?
Your day off. How many times I've said to my wife, I'm just going to tuck mine in.
They said they caught me stealing boxes. Stealing boxes? What you building, a clubhouse?
I'm telling you, it might be one of, if not the most quotable
that's my
movie
one. That's my. Every time it comes on, I watch it.
Of all time, man.
Yeah.
One of my favorite quotes is not from Fridays, but from Ice Cube though, when he says either they don't know or they don't care.
They don't care.
What's going on in the hood?
Yep. It's a good one.
That's what I say now all the time with that.
But that's boys in the hood.
Office.
Yeah. You know, but
Ice Cube said
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what the funniest from Friday is to this day? It still makes me laugh. God rest his soul, John Witherspoon, who played the dad on Friday. God rest his soul. His website, when he would do stand-up comedy, he would put up his shows and stuff online. And his website was bangbangbangbang.com.
Yeah.
All day long, foot of a dog's ass. Bang, 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 bang. That's my pleasure. His website was bangbangbangbang.com.
Rest in peace to the GOAT.
Oh,
man.
the best.
He's funny. Especially when you do that.
How come every time I'm in the kitchen? You in the kitchen. All right, it's a good place to stop.
Hey, we forgot the most famous line.
What's up?
Hey, Miss Parker.
Hey, Miss Parker.
Miss Parker was a damn. Parker was fine.
The
boy.
only times I've responded to emails or people's tweets with the damn with all of them down the porch all the time.